Hey gamers, I'm Giancarlo.
And I'm Felicia.
And this is a review of
Strada Romana.
Very well said.
Very well said. I speak
Strada
Latin.
Romana. You speak Latin or Italian?
I speak Italian.
Okay.
Spanish too.
Spanish too?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Te puedo hablar en español.
Sí, por favor.
It's true, you have a Mexican chica.
I do have a Mexican chica. Hello, Mexican chica.
Hello, tequila. In Strada Romana, players play the role of mercatores in ancient Rome, trying to get the most stipulated contracts from wagons traveling between Ostia Portus and Rome. In the box you'll find a game board with roads separated by 3 areas, 10 wagons each with their own names and clear stands to put them in, 10 wagon tiles, 1 for each wagon, 36 cubes representing the 6 goods, 36 wear tiles also representing the 6 goods, 20 yellow cones used to buy victory points and special wagon moves, 20 black victory tokens used to give bonus to your final score, and a black bag used to randomly pick the wear tiles and cubes. Use the road, wagons, and your resources well in Strada Romana, and you'll become the best mercatore in ancient Rome and win the game.
Here's how to set up the game. Randomly place the 10 wagons on the starting squares, 5 on Ostia Portus and 5 on Roma. Make sure each wagon faces the road. Place all the wear tiles and cubes in the bag. Randomly pick 6 wear tiles from it and place 1 on each of the 6 designated square areas. Then draw cubes from the bag and place 1 on each of the square for goods or marketplaces. Shuffle the 10 wagon tiles and remove 1 at random without looking at it and put it back in the box. Give the second player 1 coin, the third player 2 coins, fourth player gets 3 coins, and the fifth gets 3 coins as well. The first player does not get any coins. You're now ready to play.
Each round consists of 3 options a player can choose from: move the wagons, pick a wagon tile, or pass. Let's go into details for each option. In Move the Wagons, you have to move 3 spaces. This can be done by moving 1 wagon 3 spaces. Always forward and always following the lines on the road, unless you paid for special moves. Moving 1 wagon 1 space and another wagon 2 spaces, or moving 3 separate wagons 1 space. If a wagon ends his move on a space next to a market, the player may pick up the good. Also, depending on the area and wagon's position on the road, when the wagon ends his move, the player may choose to pick up a wire tile. If the wagon is in the topmost part of the road, the player may pick the top tile of the area he's in. If he's at the bottom, he can pick up the wear tile at the bottom of that area. And lastly, there are 3 middle squares, 1 in each. If a wagon ends his move on 1, the player may choose which wear tile to take. When getting a wear tile, players also get gold for how many goods or cubes of that type there are on the board. And whenever a player takes a cube or tile, it gets replaced immediately. In a 2 to 3 player game, players must choose between 1 cube or 1 tile. In a 4 to 5 player game, players can take 1 cube and or 1 tile. Also, if a player has coins, he may spend some of them at the beginning of the Move Your Wagons option to buy special moves. For 1 coin, he can move sideways. For 2 coins, he can move diagonal. For 3 coins, he can get an extra move. And for 4 coins, he can make a wagon go through another wagon, or what they call staking. Buying these moves also gives you the option of using the lower costing special moves of the ones you bought. For example, if you spend 2 coins, you can move diagonal and sideways as well. The moves are conveniently printed on the board game. The only things the wagons can never do is move backwards or land in space occupied by another wagon. The other player option is to choose a wagon tile. Players can score points by guessing which of the 4 wagons will arrive first at their destination. Go through the wagon tiles, pick 1 wagon tile you want, and keep it in your area face down. You can only have 3 wagon tiles at most, so you can only go with this option 3 times. At the end of the game, flip the wagon tiles you own. For each correct guess, you score 3 points. However, for each incorrect guess, you lose 1 point. And lastly, players have the pass option. Here, players only get to collect 1 coin.
Let me explain final scoring and the importance of contracts. To complete a contract, players must have a wear tile and a cube of the same good or color. In the end game, which happens when 4 wagons reach Ostia Portus and or Rome, or when there are no more victory tokens left, players add their total score. First, let's calculate contracts. Each player's scores equals the number of different colors in his completed contracts times the greatest number of contracts he has of a single color, minus any unused cubes and wear tiles. Then you add the player's victory tokens, in this case 4. He has 2 wagon tiles, one of which he guessed right, but one of which he guessed wrong, so an extra 2 points, for a final score of 19. The player with the most points wins.
The production quality is fine, artwork's pretty, and there's a great deal of strategy involved, especially in foiling the next player's plans. The game plays well at the beginning until later in the game when traffic jams occur. We know this is part of the intent of the game to capture the feeling of ancient Rome's traffic. Come to think of it, nothing's changed in 2,000 years. But if you didn't plan ahead and saved 4 coins to go through the wagons, you're going to spend a lot of turns passing. Our main issue here from the Bored to Death crew was 2. Crucial, poorly misunderstood rules in the English section of the rulebook. But thanks to our diversity here at BTD, we realized the problem after reading both the French and Italian version. First was the fact that they only explain how many cubes and wear tiles players are allowed to pick. In this little section in the rulebook, they should have also replaced the word a to 1 to clarify. Also, whenever a player gets 5 coins, he must immediately change them into a victory token. This rule was only written in this section of the rule, which made it seem like it was only during the pass option. We were wondering why the money pool was empty so fast. But once we figured it out, after decoding the rulebook through the French and Italian version, we did have an enjoyable game. Enough to give it 7 tokens out of 10 tokens.